Peace, peace. Welcome, welcome. Behind the Boards, episode 24. And I have the Du-Rites in the building. You know what I mean? J-Zone. Did you still go by J-Zone or just by your real name now with the
I
Du-Rites?
use both, man, interchangeably.
And I got Pablo Martin in the building, which is my partner.
That's me.
Du-Rites, and my partner Rockoleone is in the building. You know, everybody. We've been talking about doing this. I mean, you guys. I mean, Jay, talk about it before we go, because there's people that's watching that doesn't know about the Du-Rites. Let them know what's up before I start asking questions.
All right. Well, the Du-Rites is me and the man in the tramp shirt. That's Pablo Martin. A little backstory. He actually was the mastering engineer on all of my rap records back in the day.
Except the first one, right?
Except the first album was never mastered. That's a little bit of trivia. I never actually mastered that, because I was too cheap to master it. But everything else, he's the mastering, and that's how I met him. Digital Force was like a cheap way to get albums mastered. It was like $100 or something like that, like $95.
Was
crazy.
It? That sounds like too cheap.
No, but it was the basic mastering. There was full, and then there was basic.
Oh.
Full was like hundreds of dollars, normal price. Like
I guess you got the full, because I saw those like sound waves that were all over the place, and I said I gotta fix this shit. I cannot leave that thing going. So you got the deal.
I got you gave me the full hookup for the $95 basic mastering.
You knew you guys were going to be partners in something in the future.
20 years later, right?
Yeah.
So he basically I put out a bunch of the hip hop albums. I eventually burnt out. I got tired of it. I totally lost passion for producing. Rapping, never really was there, but I kind of did it because rappers would never show up to the studio and they'd be unreliable. So I was like, I'll rhyme myself. But then after a while, I was totally done. And then I left music for about 4 or 5 years. And then while I was away, I wrote a book. And during that time, I learned to play drums because I had to do some music just to stop from being bitter. Like I was so just jaded and just not wanting to be involved with it. But my pops was like, yo, you've been a musician all your life. Like I started out as a bass player before anything.
Oh, nice.
That just since I was like 8, 9, 10. So it was, so I started playing drums because, when you're a producer, you're using these drum breaks and chopping up drums and stuff. So I'm like, well, I want to, and at the time I was still DJing a little, and I would play funk 45s. I would get booked to play parties and play funk 45s because I had a crazy 45 collection. And I just said, I want to make music like that. So I started studying drums. I was odd jobbing at the time so I could be home during the day, because my grandmother was still alive then, and I had to be here to like be a caregiver during the day, and so I would do odd jobs at night, and during the day she was hard of hearing and she had dementia, so I would beat up those drums from like 11 in the morning until 5 p.m. every single day, like 5-6 hours a day. And after like 2 years, the learning curve was crazy because I put in time like a little kid would put in time. Like you're able to improve at your craft if you really put the time in, but as an adult, you got bills. Some people got families, life happens. So most adults don't really have that luxury. I got lucky, not lucky, but I funneled my time into that. And I remember in 2013, I put up a post on Facebook, like, yo, I just learned how to, I'm learning how to play drums, but I've been playing by myself in the basement, playing break beats, playing the records. I don't know how I sound with other people. Does anybody want to come to my house and jam? And at the time, my Facebook was like mostly people I went to school with or like people I knew from hip hop. So none of them played, very few of them played any instruments. So nobody responded. Pablo was the only person who responded.
Yeah, I was at that time. I was like coming back from Tom Tom Club tour, and I had nothing to do. And I said, okay, well, let's see how Jay is doing with the drums, because it was interesting. And you can never pass on a drummer, a new drummer in town. So because those things are very scarce. So if there's a new drummer, you better cut it first.
Exactly. And like I said, like he was my mastering engineer, but I was in the hip hop world. I had no idea he was playing guitar with Tom Tom Club. Tom Tom Club is Genius of Love.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge hit. It's been sampled with Old Dirty Bastard. I mean, a million times. And he was in the modern day lineup of Tom Tom Club touring. And I didn't know this until like later, like Facebook. Like I was so out of it.
That's funny because I gave you my Beeps album like in
I knew the Beeps.
2001.
No, that
So
was
you
06.
knew.
No, that you gave it to me in 06. You gave it to me when you mastered the To Love a Hooker. To Love a Hooker was like my exit. Like that was my last album. That was when everybody, when Donuts came out and everybody was doing beat records. I did an instrumental record that sold like 5 copies. He mastered it, and when you gave me the master, you're like, yo, check my band out, the Beeps. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you were an instrumentalist. I just knew you as a mastering engineer. But then I didn't know about Tom Tom Club.
Yeah, and at the same time, I thought that you knew how to play instruments because of the albums. I never thought they were all like sample stuff, that you were not actually...
There was some keys. I played some keys, and I was a bass player, like I said, but it was mostly samples. I was just like...
drums with the pads, right?
Yeah, back then, yeah. And I would chop stuff up, and it was just the way that I would put stuff together, I guess. But, you know, I was a bass player and stuff, but I wasn't a drummer. I didn't play drums until 2011 after the book came out. So when I got hip to the Tom Tom Club thing, I'm like, yo, I got like, he's a legit musician. Like he's the real deal. He's playing with friggin' Tom Tom Club and he's coming. But you were the only person who responded. Nobody responded to that Facebook post. If you didn't respond, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Were you self-taught with the drums?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the beginning, yeah. Well, no. I was teaching production classes at my SUNY Purchase College. That's where I went to college. And I would teach every now and again. And one of the students after class was like, yo, can you show me some production tricks? And he was a drummer. And I was like, well, can you show me some stuff with drums? So he got me acclimated with rudiments and stuff. And I had learned on my own. Like I bought a stick control book, which is a book with all the drum rudiments. So I was working with my hands. Like I got a pad right here. Like when I be at the computer, I just put a metronome on. So I had been doing that, but he showed me, you know, little things about the kit. And then I would take a lesson here and a lesson there. But like, you know, I remember when I first started playing, I used to look at videos of drummers in the 80s and they would have their cymbals way up here, like all the fusion and rock guys. And I tried to do that shit and I tore up my wrist, bro. Like I remember I couldn't even hold a container of almond milk. I would drop it. I had tendonitis because I was playing real tight and up here. So I remember I took 2 lessons with this guy. He said, no, put your cymbal low, like a tom where you can reach it so you don't hurt yourself. Like I didn't know about, you can get hurt drumming. It's a sport. And you could actually you can fuck yourself up for life if you do it wrong.
With any instrument, man.
With any instrument.
Bass and guitar, you can fuck your shoulder because those things are heavy.
Yeah.
And I got the rotator cuff from that one, man.
Yeah, like you get injuries if you play your instrument wrong. If you blow a horn wrong, you can get like a hernia.
Yeah.
Like, with instruments, it's almost like a sport. So like you wouldn't go out and just like play a full court without stretching. So like I had to learn that by being self-taught. I didn't know that. So I did have lessons here and there, but it was mostly self-taught. And then he came to the crib. Like I said, he's the only one who responded. He came over with a bass guitar and we just started jamming. And the first thing we came up with was the Chief and I, right? On the first album?
Yeah, Chief and I.
So we came up with a tune on the first day. You know,
and Hustle, with the Hustle too.
Hustle we did at Christmas.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because, and also another thing is we were anti-holiday because he was.
Oh yeah.
Our group developed through holidays because my grandmother was senile. She didn't know what day it was. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, holidays, like I would be.
Yeah, we did all the holidays. Yeah, totally.
So he would be like, yo, at that point you were, you know, at that point you didn't have family around. You know.
No. I was on my own. Yeah.
So he's like, yo, it's Christmas. All my family's back home in Argentina. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, my grandmother's upstairs. She don't even know what my name is. You know, like I'm sitting here watching a Laker game. It's like, yo, come through. So on all the holidays where everybody else we knew was celebrating holidays with the family or whatever, we would just start jamming.
We're celebrating with music. There you go.
Celebrating music. And our first album, which came out in 2016, over the holidays and stuff, we just started putting it together as like a side project. And initially, because he was still in Tom Tom Club, and and they would tour at the drop of a hat. And when Chris France calls to go on the tour, you got to go.
Yeah.
So Tom Tom Club was still your gig, and I was still like dabbling with like hip hop projects here and there, but I just my heart wasn't really in it, and I was kind of hanging around when I shouldn't have been hanging around. And I was also putting out the drum break records. Those were getting popular around the time, so those were a revenue source for me. Producers started sampling them. Jake One, Alchemist, Marco Polo. These guys started using these drum records, and I started getting studio work. So doing that studio work also helped me get my skills together, but really like playing with Pablo, like he was the only person who gave me a call because I was basically an inexperienced drummer. Like I know what you said about when you find a drummer, you got to call them because there's not that many who are reliable, but you would have me come to rehearse, with your rock band. So I was just learning, I was just paying my dues, like learning how to play with other musicians, learning how to play other styles of music, learning how to play rock, learning how to play behind a singer.
That always helps, man. You need to know every style.
Every style. And all I knew was break beats, so
I learned all, I got all these gigs because I know how to play reggae. And that's the main, if you can play that, you can play any other groove. If you can play that well, whether you like it or not,
yeah.
You can play anything else.
It's crazy too, is that once you guys finish your recording, you don't got to worry about taking it to someone else to master and shit. You guys got it all in one.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You guys got your whole bundle right there in the kit together.
But we didn't master our first album, and it was my choice. I wanted to have I felt it was too lo-fi, and so we went to master it at a certain place, and we did it analog. And honestly, the difference between that mastering and the my mastering was what? Nothing, right?
Nothing. Save the money. Keep it all. We keep everything in house. So
yeah,
now I'm learning how to do video production because of the pandemic. We can't shoot no video. So for Can't Buy Groove, we just got our iPhones out and just got different angles of us playing the song. And I sat here for 9 hours and put that shit together in iMovie. Like, it's kind of like.
Wait, you guys got a movie?
Yeah, well, we did a music video.
Just a video clip.
A music video for Can't Buy Groove. That was a single. So it was like, we did videos before. We would hire somebody. We would go out and try to invite people out. We would have like casting calls, and we were just like, quick and dirty. We in a pandemic. We ain't got time for all of that. True. So it's like, I think we got to 5 albums with that mentality. Like, everything we need to make an album, we can do it musically because we both play multiple instruments. He knows how to master. We both know how to mix.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, we both know people who are photographers.
But we don't know how to mix, probably.
Well, that's what makes the records work, because we don't know.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not Bob Powers. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
but that's the thing. Yeah. We don't really go for
your guys' ears know what's going on.
There you go.
Yeah, you know how to turn the knob, and you know what I'm saying? Whatever you like, when you turn that knob, it is what it is.
Yeah, we don't want to get too music school with it.
Yeah, and we don't turn that many knobs anyway, right?
No. We have a setting. Like, I just have the drums mic'd up a certain way. And then, when I want a different sound, I move the mic around. Once I get it, I got it. I don't worry about if the micing is technically correct. You know what I mean? Like, I just make sure that it sounds good. And it works for us.
Our songs are not bigger than 8 tracks. If we got 8 tracks in a song, that's an orchestral one.
Yeah, like
if it's like a funk song, it's like what, 5 tracks normally?
Yeah, it's just the drum track, the bass, guitar, organ, percussion.
Yeah, 2 tracks for drum.
You guys are playing everything. Okay, that's dope.
Yeah, we play
What's
everything.
The age difference between y'all two?
I don't know.
9 years.
9 years. Yeah.
You don't have to tell me your ages. You can just tell me the age difference.
Well, I don't know. He's the math guy. I just don't get it out of my head. It's 9 years.
9 years.
I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
You guys ever think about putting any other members in your group, or you just keeping just y'all two?
Well,
We have two more.
members.
Yeah, for the live band. Yeah, Billy and Bruce.
Oh, okay.
We got a bass player and Brucey, which also plays with me in Tom Tom Club. He plays keyboards and percussion at the same time.
Yeah, he's a wizard. Like he'll be playing a keyboard solo and he'll be playing like the cowbell with his foot, and then he'll be like there's footage on YouTube. Like we have show footage, and if he
For the live album.
Yeah.
We
and
have
the
a live album.
We did a live album last year.
Nice.
We cut
So
a
who's
live
your
album.
favorite band? Who's your favorite band?
Mine is Cool in the Game.
Cool in the Game?
Yeah.
That's dope.
I don't have a favorite band. I just love music in general. It's hard to pick ones. And probably, I don't know, I always outside the funk stuff when I'm not working on funk, because or when I'm working on funk, I cannot listen to it because it becomes very derivative in a way. If you apply the same thing you're listening to the music, it doesn't work because everything is written and you've been already competing to all the stuff that's been done like 70 like in the 70s 40 years ago, and they got there first. So probably when I'm writing funk, I'm listening to soundtracks or post-punk or Latin, you know.
I got that from it. It's funny, in the beginning we were writing funk and I would still listen to funk, and then after that I started doing the same thing. I started listening to more jazz, but then when I was making beats back in the day, I wouldn't barely listen to hip hop when I was making rap records.
So basically you don't like any other influences to influence you.
It doesn't help. It doesn't really help.
No, it doesn't. And even like I was saying, like back in the day, like when I would listen, people would think I was bullshit and they'd be like, yo, what do you listen to? Big timers. Because I used to listen to Manny Fresh all the time.
Wow.
But the music I was making sounded nothing like it. But I used to love that Cash Money shit because my family's from New Orleans. And so there's all this second line rhythm, the brass, the way that his shit would sound big in the car. Like I always had a car, so I like the shit. So when I was making these records that sounded nothing like that, people would be like, how did you listen to Manny Fresh and the music? Like I would never listen to my contemporaries. I would listen to people that were in a different thing. So now that with funk, like early on, I was still trying to learn my thing. But now that I'm comfortable writing funk, I listen to more psychedelic rock and jazz. And try to stay away from funk, just because a lot of funk, especially late '60s, early '70s, a lot of it is the same 3 or 4 chord progressions. So it's like, you know, to get away from that, you know, I listen to like a lot of the Miles, Bitches Brew era shit, On the Corner, things like that. And even I started getting more into, you know, some psych rock stuff. For instrumentation, and I listen to Latin too, and even some '70s fusion. I just spent the whole day
fusion,
not math fusion, funk fusion.
That's fusion. We have the fusion discussion all the time.
Yeah,
and the fusion joking, because
so
that's not my thing at all.
Yeah, we're not like a complex math kind of a band. It's just like,
but we could be. If we wanted to.
We have moments where we do that, you know, where we play in odd time signatures or, you know, do jazz influence. We have that, but we're not like trying to show people we went to school for, you know what I mean? Like a lot of bands do that. Like, yo, okay, you went to school, motherfucker, like that.
We end up playing jazz like by accident, right?
Yeah, we do jazz by accident.
And in why? Because every time we get together, you tell me, oh, you hate jazz.
And then you try to prove me wrong, and then you mute your guitar and start playing jazz. So then I
don't hate jazz. I don't think
I love jazz, but it's just.
I love jazz too, but I don't think it helps too. So that's the how we complement, because we put the jazz on the rhythm, and I remove the jazz from the harmony.
Yeah, like jazz in the rhythm is swing. So even if you listen to like the Dilla type of beats, it's like a 12/8 to 4/4 kind of line stepping. You know what I mean? And if you imagine swing jazz, and then when you put it to a backbeat, a funk beat, boom boom, boom boom boom, boom boom boom, like you put a lope on it instead of doing boom 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 boom. It's like boom 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 boom. Like that comes from jazz because you're trying to internalize, like almost like a jazz ride feel internally, but then you put it into a backbeat kind of a groove. So if I give Pablo rhythms that have that kind of lean on it, he plays to it, which has a jazz style, but then he doesn't put any jazz into the guitar. He plays straight funk.
No jazz, no blues, no
jazz, no blues, but he'll use reggae,
no
like
gospel,
dub, a lot of dub influence
and punk rock,
and a lot of punk rock.
like simple notes.
Yeah, and when you mash that together with the jazz, funk, and hip hop on the rhythm side, and then you have post punk and reggae and all that shit and psych on the melodic side, you're getting a different angle of funk. It's not like, because a lot of funk is derivative too. Like a lot of people, their goal is to sound just like James Brown. Yeah. But James Brown did it as good as you could do it. So like, I don't want to try to sound like James Brown or try to sound like the Meters. They mastered it. They did it to the zenith. So, you know, we want to try to mix it.
And for that reason is we don't go back to those records when we write.
Yeah, I love those records. That's my childhood. But it's like, we can't do it better than that. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
If you go by those records, you end up trying to copy, or you get discouraged because you're not gonna get to that point.
Yeah. And a lot of producers do that. Like, it's like you're influenced by stuff, but then you want to go back to an era and just duplicate it. But you don't realize the era you're duplicating, they weren't trying to duplicate nobody.
They were trying to pay bills the same way that we are.
Yeah, exactly. And they were influenced by all these other things, but they were trying to make something new.
Yeah, and that's the same way that we put it. I like to think that Du-Rites is a 2020 band.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's not retro to me. To me, it's every song that we write is new. You know.
Yeah, we don't want to do the retro thing because it happens in funk, and it happens a lot in rap, and you know, like people just want to go back to a time and do a duplicate, but that you can't duplicate the shit that great. You can have little bits of influence, but then take that influence and make something new. Like try to do something different, like break some rules, you know, do shit that don't make sense to you know, like you could have a drum miking that sounds like a 60s record, but then use guitar pedals that have an 80s sound. Like people want to be era specific and authentic to the point where they want the record to sound like one era. Like this dope shit in different eras, and this stuff we have available now that wasn't available then, that's dope that you could mix in with that. So we use cheap gear. We don't worry about having a SSL board or this, you know, that, or like, we just get whatever we can get our hands on and try to make it funky. We don't worry about this is vintage, that's classic, just whatever we can get for cheap that looks like it might be kind of different. We just grab that gear and we just
or it's just cheap.
Just cheap. Like, yo, we cheap. I still use Pro Tools 6, bro. Like, I haven't upgraded in 20 years because it's like, it works for me. So we don't get caught up in holy grail gear. That's what our single Can't Buy Groove is about. Like, a lot of musicians will go on Reverb and I'm gonna get this keyboard, man. This keyboard is $15,000. It's the same one the Beatles used up here. But if you can't play the shit, then you're out $15,000. Like, you could have just gone and go on eBay and got some battery-operated keyboard. You know? Like,
and there are a lot of shit that it goes straight to the closet, you know, in that particular, you know, thing.
Yeah, the gear.
So how did you guys come up with that name?
The Du-Rites?
Yes.
We just had a phone call and he came up with it, and I said, okay, fine, because we didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know how I came, because it sounds like one of the funk bands. Like every band was the something, and then when you put a hyphen in it, the Shangri-Las, the Broncos. Like I'm just trying to think of those groups. It was always a the something, and the name was hyphenated. So I
I
was
guess
like,
but when we come up with the name, we didn't even have the idea of the record, right?
we just came up with the name before we had the first album. We were just jamming and like, well, we're gonna call this shit. And I was like, I just literally said the Du-Rites. Like it just happened. It just came like that, you know?
Yeah, that one we didn't think. Then the titles of the records and the songs, we had more like a concept and we put more thought in them. But the name of the band, we really didn't.
We didn't. It just we
You
got
ever
lucky
think
on
about
that.
putting vocals on any of your songs? Like somebody singing?
I sing on it now.
We have a couple.
We have a couple.
We have a couple the ones that we did for Mimi Maura.
Mimi Mara, yeah.
Yeah.
Mimi Mara in
a singer from Puerto Rico.
She's Puerto Rico,
yeah. She's from Puerto Rico.
We did a Ghostface. We did a Ghostface remix.
Yeah, and
So you guys do get asked for music for artists and shit for the participation.
We did a remix. There was a remix album by a producer from France named Wax Taylor, and he put out an album. What was it called? All Means Necessary, all remix.
By All Means Necessary.
Yeah, and he had all these songs, and he hit me up. He's like, "Yo, I like what you're doing with Du-Rites. Do you want to remix the cuts from the album? I'm doing a remix album with other producers. Like he had other producers remix his album." And he was like, "There's a Ghostface track," and I was like, "Well, I always liked Ghostface. I never got to work with him back in the day, but I was like, we could do something now." So we did a Du-Rites remix, Ghostface Worldwide. So that, and then we worked with Eddie Palmieri and we had Eddie Palmieri and Robert Glasper on the Bobito joint with Rob Swift.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Rock Rubber 45s for Bobito's documentary, the theme song. That's us.
Oh shit! For real?
That's us. Yeah.
So the Ghostface one, he came and did the vocals over, or you did it with an acapella?
No, we don't. We didn't. We had no interaction with Ghostface. It was Wax Taylor, and then he sent us the track. He did the track with Ghostface, but then he had us remix it.
Oh, okay.
But it's if you look it up,
Ghostface heard it and everything, right? And
he might have. I don't know.
We don't know. Probably not.
Probably not.
I would say no.
But our name is with Ghostface Killer up there on Spotify and YouTube and stuff, and we got a vinyl record with that credit. So but it's 2020. Like, how many artists are really in the studio? Like even 15 years ago, like we used to mail CDs to each other. Like, yo, here's the data for the session, or I mean, we do stuff together. Yeah, like at this.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, we used to mail
the reels.
Yeah, it's like the collaboration thing is a lot. I'm not gonna say it's not as genuine, but it's an afterthought. Like people like, yo, I like this person, I want them on my record, and then you call them, you PayPal them. Like it's just transactional, is what I'm saying. Like a lot more so than when I started like 20 years ago. Yeah. Over the years, it just got more and more transactional. And even this record, because we made our new album in the pandemic. So like all the songs except 3 or 4 of them, we did through WeTransfer. My studio, his studio, sending it back and forth till we finish it.
Oh, you guys didn't get together to do none of these?
Only 3 or 4 of them.
How far are you guys from each other? You guys live far from each other?
Oh yeah, we live at the other edge of town. He's
New York
in Jamaica.
City. If you look at New York City, he's in the top left, I'm in the bottom right. So he's
the A train? We are on every edge of the A train.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally.
Like he's like at the top of Harlem, and then I'm by Kennedy Airport, way at the bottom east of Queens, almost in Long Island. So like we're like this. If we're looking at the square, he's in the top left corner. I'm in the bottom right.
When we picked you up, that was the same place you're still at.
Yeah. So
so
I'm by JFK, but he's uptown, like by the George Washington Bridge.
Yep.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you're in New York, that's not like being in Oklahoma and driving 25 miles. Like 25 New York miles is 3 hours. You better bring a urinal. I mean, you better bring a mayonnaise jar to piss
You
in
need
or something.
helicopters in New York and shit. Like,
Yeah, man. Like,
You saying Pablo is in Harlem, you're in Queens, you saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
okay. All right. So, I'm gonna play one of the joints right now. And you explain it. The Can't Buy Groove.
Sure.
Hot and Psycho. Yeah, we can play either one.
Let me do something real quick.
So you know what I mean? Before you go into it or while you're looking for it, let us know when you dropping the album. You know what I'm saying? What's the name of the album and
The
all that
album's
stuff.
called A Funky Bad Time. And it's our 5th album, and it's pre-ordering now on our Bandcamp. But it releases next Friday, November 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. We start shipping next week. The vinyl will be here in 2 days.
You're gonna have a full album vinyl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it, man. I'll support you. I got them 45s you sent me still too.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
Of course, man. You know Jay, I always got you, man. Like
You got the
Du-Rites
Mean Machine,
dropping
right?
on
Yeah.
Spooky Friday the 13th.
Let's get to the joint. Can't Buy Groove.
Du-Rites back up in here again, ain't we? I see you boy, little piece of here, homeboy. Right on, I hear that. Hey man, I think I'm gonna rap a little bit to the gearheads right about now. Can I do that? Can I rap to 'em? Rap to 'em? Right on, check it out. You can buy a 1967 Ludwig drum set, but you can't buy groove. You can buy the same microphones the Beatles used on Rubber Soul, but you can't buy groove. Y'all can play in 13/8 for 13 minutes straight. Guess what? You can't buy groove. Y'all can stick a pork chop inside of your damn electro amplifier. You know what? You can't buy groove. Your time has run out and your credit card been declined. Sucker. Oh, man. Don't spill no barbecue sauce on the armrest, please. You can get off reverb now. Ain't nothing over there but grief on your bank account. When you go vintage, you got the juice, but if you ain't got the grease, brother, it ain't no use. Hey, Du-Rites, let's groove.
Nice.
Hey.
All right. What made you come up with the joint? Yeah, definitely applause, man. That's it. I didn't know you were talking in the joint too. That's dope.
Yeah, man. Give him a little song. You know what I'm saying?
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, man. That's what, no, the concept of that was what I was saying before. Like, people get caught up in gear. Like, spending money, I'm going to get this gear, that gear, that gear. And, like, when you really just focus on finding your own sound, whatever gear you get is going to sound like you. Like, people be like, I want that drum set. I want that. I mean, we all do it. We all love our instruments. We want, you know, we nerd out, but then there's a limit. Like, yo, I'm gonna spend $6,000 for that 1967 drum kit, or I'm gonna get that drum machine, or I'm gonna get that mic. You're still gonna sound like you.
Yeah.
So a piece of equipment is not gonna change what you sound like. You know what I mean? Like, people would always joke about me having an old Pro Tools and rundown. Like, I don't care what you put in front, and people be like, yo, what are you using? I used to use a 4-track cassette, I used to have a Tascam Porta 2. And I did a YouTube video with it, and I used to record drums in it. I did that for like a year. 5, 6 years later, people like, yo, I'm getting the 4-track. I was like, yo, I stopped using the 4-track like 6 years ago. Like, and nobody knew. They assumed I was using a 4-track. I was like, yeah, I used it for that one album and never used it again. I have my drum sound. Like, whatever I use is whatever I use. I went online, 4-tracks are like $600 now because people.
No way, really?
Yeah, like a Tascam 4-track. I saw some going for $600.
I got songs I did like on cassettes from that, and I don't got nothing to play them on to get them songs back out. I can't.
That's cool, but people get them because they think it's gonna make their music sound like a certain. And there's fun in that, and there's some truth to it. But worry about gear after you get a style. Like, once you find a style and you find your groove, and you know how to, whether you play an instrument, whether you make beats, whether you do you're a vocalist, whatever DJ, like whatever you do. Like, you see DJs that got all these buttons and shit, mixer lighting up, fireworks and shit, and then they get up there and they do some basic shit and train wreck. I'm like, man, you got this gangster mixer, and you're up there like 8 seconds of space in between the two songs. I'm like, yo, you could just get you like a little cheap Scratch Master or like a little Stanton. What does it matter? You know what I mean? So it was just kind of poking fun at how we all musicians, we get obsessed with gear, but then the longer you play and do your thing, the more you realize like the shit don't even matter, man.
At the end,
or we have these discussions about our favorite producers upgrading to the newest equipment and how that don't sound like their old fucking music. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, he was better with the old shit.
I'm agree with like a DJ Premier. When he left the MPC 62, I wasn't a fan as much as I used to be and shit. It's like, it's the sound.
Yeah, I mean, also, but artists change too. So like,
yeah,
even no matter what you put in, I mean, there is some shit with equipment that's true to that equipment. Like, if you're gonna use an SP1200, there's gonna be a ring in the sound because you're speeding up records to squeeze them in there and slow them down with that bit rate. You're gonna get a ring, right? That's gonna disappear. If you're playing a certain kind of guitar, it might have a noisy pickup by nature.
Oh yeah,
You have guitars and basses that sound like that sounds like that guitar.
Yeah, and even if we don't have the noise, we miss it.
Yeah.
And if you go to the studio to do that same recording, you're gonna have an engineer who will spend 2 hours trying to get rid of that buzz.
Yeah. So there is things like, I have drums. I collect drums. I have certain drums, like Gretsch drums. They use them for jazz because when you tune them up high, it's like bing, bing, bing. And I can listen to a record and be like, yo, that's a Gretsch set, right? So there are characteristics, but then there comes a point where if you can't play, it really doesn't matter all that much.
But it's kind of like with voice too. If you go back to like an early Prodigy voice and then like a later Prodigy voice, you hear his voice, but he grew.
Well, his voice got deeper.
And I don't know if you would like him better when his voice was higher and deep. You know what I mean? That could have been his voice and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So there is some truth to it, but it's like it's just a joke. A lot of musicians we know are always,
and that's just wear and tear, man.
Yeah.
When the voice changes, I mean, it happened to all of us.
That's life, man.
Yeah,
If you lived a hard life, if you smoke a lot, drink a lot, you don't sleep, you eat a lot of bullshit, your voice gonna change. You know, like
you're growing up too. Your voice gets deeper as you get older.
Gets deeper and deeper and deeper, like, you know. So, but we just, man, like we just try not to get so caught, and especially with vintage gear, like stuff will cost. You know, certain drum kits will cost 10 grand, and somebody will buy it, and I'll be like, 10 grand? Word? Like, maybe you can get a set for $2,000 or $500. Like at what point?
You can do anything with a 10 grand, anything. What you gonna do? You cannot even get it out of the house.
Yeah, like you're gonna be scared to take it anywhere because you're gonna break it. So that was kind of like how we came up with that. That was just, I always wanted to do a funny song like that. And,
Can't buy a groove, man.
You can't buy a groove, man.
And ultimately, you can buy anything but the groove.
Yeah, you can't buy the groove. And that means the groove is just like what you do, whether it's soul, whether it's funk, whether it's swing, whether it's head nod, whether it's just thump. Like there's things where if you ain't got it, you ain't, what the guru say, you ain't got it, motherfucker. Like that's.
And also there is this thing that, I don't know if you noticed, but there is all these groups in social media. They are the gearheads. Do you belong to any of those motherfuckers? Because I belong to a couple of about guitars, you know. And
well, they have gear groups on Facebook, yeah. Like,
and they are like replacing shit and modifying and talking about how much money they spend on a bridge, because one of these guitars that I have, the Jazz Master, it has a bridge, it's a piece of shit. So I get all these gearhead obsessed and changing the bridge and spending thousands of dollars. And they're all playing bad blues or not gigging at all.
Yeah, like right now, where are you going to play at? You're going to get a guitar.
No, they do. They just play on fucking Facebook, and it's painful, man. It's the same blues shit over and over, and it's awful. And, you know.
All right, let's get to the next song.
I put up Hot and Psycho, because that might wind up getting sampled at some point.
Is that the other one that's the other one you gave me, right?
Yeah, Hot and Psycho, yeah.
Hold on.
We were losing right now. But
you gave me a funky bad time.
We're running right now, but,
but Hot and Psycho is one of the songs.
Hold on a second.
It's like the fourth song on there.
No, that's the beginning.
Okay to do some things halfway.
You know how to stupid.
Like where?
You know how to,
SoundCloud
what is that?
SoundCloud is
that was advertisements.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were going for. Cadillac.
Yeah, to get more clicks. You put a dog, you get more traffic.
That's the Mad Dog.
Yeah, that's the Mad Dog. Absolutely.
That's wagon.
Say, girl, you better put that brick down.
Kind of brick you talking about?
Don't worry, baby, I ain't gonna call the police. Even though you put a brick through my windshield, slash my tires, bitch.
Whole SoundCloud don't make it take us down.
Right? With the artists on there, the artists themselves. Yeah.
I was just playing around. They ain't gonna believe none of that, right? Can we still say all that stuff nowadays or no?
You're gonna get hashtag.
So
All right.
I enjoyed that one as well.
Yeah.
Thank you,
You
sir.
guys want to hear other ones? There's 6 other joints, right? It's 8 songs.
12.
Yeah,
There's
we got
12. There was
12,
8
yeah.
on that playlist.
Oh, there was 8?
Yeah.
That's
Maybe you need to scroll down.
Yeah, you got to scroll
On
down.
the bottom, there was like other songs that wasn't locked. You know what I mean? With different pictures on it.
Oh yeah. Well, there was 2 of them had. I got to change the photos on the 2 singles, Pigeon Spikes and Mad Dog, because those had
Which
the
I
same.
have the Mad Dog right there, right here.
That's the Mad Dog, yeah.
So
Yeah.
once again, what how people if people want to go get the music, where do they go? Tell them where to go.
They can go to the Du-Rites.bandcamp.com. That's THEDURITES at .bandcamp.com. I'm gonna put it on my Jay's own Bandcamp on this Friday, the 6th. I'm gonna put it up this Friday for pre-order on the 6th as well. But it comes out the 13th. You know, the vinyl HHV and some of the mom and pops that are still around online, they'll have it. It's also, you know, streaming on Spotify, iTunes, all that. And then, but we got a whole bunch of 45. You picked up the Mean Machine one last year, right?
Yeah,
yeah. So
I want to get the album, but your brother's got to sign it for me. So I need to.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Like, boom, and you know what I'm saying? I'll support, you know what I mean, and get it, and I'm gonna put it in my collection because I got over 6,000 records. I probably don't got as much records as Jay. I know Jay got.
No, I sold mine to get the drums. I had to get money in there somehow.
People probably made off on it too because you probably had all kinds of gems in there.
Oh, man, I sold like 80% of my collection, bro. In 2012, to redo the studio to record drums, I had to get the money from somewhere.
Damn, I wish I knew you then. I mean, I wish we were talking then, and I could have bought. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I A1 Ed Wong from Sandbox, he took a lot of it, and then A1 downtown, and just a bunch of DJs came through. I got rid of a lot of them, but I needed the money, like, you know, to record drums and to do beats is 2 different setups. Like I had to get the mics and I had to set up the room right to do that shit, you know.
Are you guys gonna do any like video live performance and shit?
We were talking about it, but we cannot locate our keyboard player. So he may be lost somewhere upstate, as far as we know. We were talking about doing this thing for a while, and we're meeting with Billy, the bass player, and we're gonna do it, but we both have always hard time locating Brucey, which doesn't have social media. He's like, does he have a flip phone? I think he has a hidden flip phone that we don't know about it.
He has a landline. He has a fax machine.
A BlackBerry.
A BlackBerry, yeah. He's got a
razor.
slide out QWERTY pad.
No, I am not kidding. I'm getting emails from him sometimes from a library upstate. I'm on the library. I'm catching Wi-Fi on the library. You know?
And he uses he has an AOL email account, and then he uses a font. He uses a font I've never seen before. It's like the font is like this big.
Yo, I still use AOL. I still use Yahoo.
I still use AOL for my producer corner. They send my stuff to. I just don't use AOL no more. I just kept the emails and shit.
Brucey's on dial-up, man.
I know, and we we both get the Bruce anxiety when we have to contact him.
When we got a show before this, when we had gigs before this, we would get gig offers like, "Yo, we need to know by this afternoon." And we're like, "Yo, fuck, we gotta find Bruce." It's like, yo, he's carrier pigeon, man.
No, but I think I could when all this craziness is over, and who the hell knows when that's gonna be. Out this way, I'll see if I can get you guys some gigs out here. You know what I'm saying? Out this area. You know what I'm saying?
Where are you?
I'm in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
From Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
We're near like Hartford area, Springfield, Massachusetts area. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Springfield.
Tom is in Connecticut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairfield.
I was just watching an interview with Mike Tyson. I know Mike Tyson used to box in Springfield and Holyoke, Massachusetts when he was younger. I didn't know that.
Oh, you used to have the house in Farmington.
No, I'm talking about when he was little, before he was.
But he was living in the Catskills.
Yeah, he used to go to Holyoke, Massachusetts, and Springfield, Massachusetts to box out there.
Because it's closer to upstate New York. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's right. It's actually close by to New York. If you're going upstate, like to get over the border is not that far. Iron Mike, man.
Yeah. You guys ready for to see him fight? Was it Jones?
That ain't gonna be no fight. That's gonna be a.
See Tyson practicing.
I saw him practicing. He's full of grays, and he looks like a senior citizen, but he hits like he's like I saw that shit. I was just like, nah, man, I'm good.
Nobody want to get hit by him still.
No.
You know what I'm
Not
saying?
Mike Tyson.
But yeah, definitely. The album's coming out Friday. I'm gonna have this up tomorrow, so it'll be album come out Friday. Go get the album. Go support these guys. They got other stuff on there too from the previous 4 albums, right? So
Yeah.
Well, you guys got merchandise like shirts and stuff with your logo on them and all.
We're gonna do that in the spring when it get warmer.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to make shirts than hoodies.
When we can define what kind of cotton we want. Because we've been having that discussion.
Yeah, we want to do the breathable shirts. I don't want to do the heavyweight joints because you get an old shirt, they used to stretch.
But you don't have to wear them, man.
J-Zone Pablo, you can also get long sleeves. You don't have to always do the hoodies. You get long sleeve tees.
I sent Jay a shirt. I sent Jay a Producer's Corner shirt, but he never got it. He said
he never got it.
Something. I did
fucking post office, man.
I'll get y'all some again. You know what I mean? It'll be dope was when you guys do one of your gigs, we send y'all shirts. You wear shirts in a gig for one show. That'd be
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, we'll rock it. We'll even do a jam. We'll do a rehearsal with it. We put up videos.
Pablo, what we do is we do on the Facebook, we post a album or a song every week, and producers all around the world make a beat off that album or song and post their posts in the comments of the post, and every Saturday we play all their beats, and the winner picks the tops for the next week. Like if there's 50, it's top 5. If there's 60, it's top 6, and go on and go on. It's our 164th week doing it. You know what I'm saying? So,
we go live every week, Facebook, YouTube.
And then we got this now behind the boards. You know what I'm saying? And Jay was on I believe the 4th with Marco Polo and Wordsworth and Jason. Remember? And,
yeah, that was back in May, man.
Yeah, this week we've been doing that since too. It's our 24th one right now. You know what I mean? We're trying to, we're trying to stay current, especially through this time. It's easier to get people to do these interviews. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I mean, we didn't want Master Ace and Cool Rock Ski at the same time. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could keep going and going. We did a Cali one tonight. You like Cali guys? We did Raz Kaz, MC8, Qbert was in there.
Wow.
RBX, Sir Jinx. And
Jinx, you got Jinx on here?
Yeah, we had Jinx on 2 shows already.
Yo, Jinx was my guy, man. Yo, I'm one of those. Live and Let Die, G-Rap.
Yeah, that beats.
Stress. Did you see the Souls of Mischief documentary?
Yeah, I seen that before, yo. I seen that. Yeah, because A+ told me about it, yo.
Yeah, okay. It said it was just coming out.
Oh, they did it. Okay, all right. Now I'll go watch that shit again. I love the typographics and all that. Sir Jinx said that album was actually done
in the riots
before Ice Cube's album, but because of the Bismarcky sample clearance, Cold Chillin' held off on that album. They had to fix shit and change shit because of that shit, and that's why Trackmasters got some of the beats on that album.
Wow! And I know he did it during they re-recorded some of it during the LA riots.
Yeah,
the Rodney King.
Yep. I remember the story.
But to me, that album is like a fucking movie, man. Yeah. Train Robbery used to scare the shit out of me because I'm like, yo, that shit could really happen. Like, that shit is like that was just when New York was just
Edge of Sanity, cock blocking, all that.
Edge of Sanity is just
like
for real. Man, I mean, it's just It's just a sick album. Just sick in every what's like just like damn.
That was G-Rap's prime, my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was my favorite G-Rap album. A lot of people
Yeah.
in New York were biased because it was wet, but Jinx was good at making these things that sounded like movies. And the whole thing just feels like you're in a, you know, in a movie theater watching all this shit go down.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just when you said Sir Jinx, that was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, we had one with Sir Jinx and Ski Beats was in the same one. Sir Jinx,
Ski's ill.
Sean J. Period, J.
Yeah.
Clot. That was that one.
Yeah, that's dope.
We had a DJ one with Rob Swift and Qbert, and Rob Swift's got his girl now that DJs with him, Yilly. And then we had another DJ one with a whole bunch of DJs. We had Cass, Theodore.
Wow, damn.
Cool V, Tap Money. Fuck, it was like a whole
Philly.
bunch of them. Even DJ what's his name from MTV? What was his name? Rocco. What was the guy?
Not Skiz. Scribble.
Skiz was in there too. Scribble's DJ Skiz was in there. Scribble was in there. I mean, we could keep going on. I mean, we keep doing it. You know, we keep getting more. And we're getting Braz Nazareth soon. You know what I'm saying? Like boom and But yeah, I don't want to tell the people. We don't let people know we're doing. We just let it come out. You know what I mean? It's
That's
like a cassette. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck's on that cassette? Oh shit! You know what I'm saying?
No more algorithms, man. Just put shit out.
So I know I got familiar with my own personal roots cruise, pretty much.
You guys actually, if you want to send me pictures that you want me to use as the pictures on like each one of you.
Yeah.
On for the Do-Rites when my man puts it together and shit.
I'll send it tonight.
Cool.
Just like a group photo.
Yeah, actually a picture of each one of you. You have a picture of you guys. Unless you want to put all you and the other two, all four of you in the picture.
No, we have a picture of just us.
Actually interviewed just you two. So yeah, so
I have a picture of just us two, like like a press photo.
Yeah, just send me that. We'll do it.
Yeah, I'll send them that. Yeah.
But we appreciate this, and you know we're gonna want to get you guys again in the future. You know, I know you got albums coming up in the future, and we're here.
We always working. We don't take time off.
We don't stop.
We don't stop that, man. Fuck
we want to be involved with anything you can do to help you guys push this. You know what I mean? Because
hopefully when the world open back up, we could get you to one of our functions, and y'all can come jam out. And
like you know what I'm saying, like for real. And, you know what I mean? We for the culture and the music. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no doubt, man. Appreciate you having us up here.
Oh, for real, Jay. You already know, man. Jay, I always support you all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna stop the recording. Like once again, they know go to the website, the Du-Rites website. Everything's on there, right? Everything.
Bandcamp, the Du-Rites on Bandcamp, and then my J Zone Bandcamp starting this Friday will be pre-orders as well. The 6th, and then but the Du-Rites is pre-ordering now. You can pre-order the album right now, and we're gonna start shipping.
I got one question for Pablo now. Who's your favorite bass player? Who's your inspiration?
I have many.
Like when you hear like, oh, I can't wait to hear what he's gonna do now. Like if someone's coming out right now with one of them, who do you want to hear?
I like Family Man Barrett and Robbie Shakespeare. And I like Norman Roy from the Blockheads. And there are so many.
Tell them all. Tell us all, because we all listen and we all go.
They're good, because I like Paul from The Clash. I like him. Yeah. He played reggae and rock and everything in the same vein. I like Bernard Edwards.
Oh yeah, Sheep.
Yeah, and I like so many. And I play with one of the biggest, which is Tina Weymouth, you know. I got the chance to play with her. Tina from Tom Club and Talking Heads.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I have many. I don't know. It's hard. I like Sir Horace from the Specials. He was a good bass player.
When you mastered, do you master just digital? Do you master analog too, or just digital?
I can do anything at this point.
You've been doing it all your life, mastering and.
Yeah, I've been doing it. I mean, right now, not so much because people not reading the credit as much as they used to. But I'm doing it. Yeah.
Mastering's a crazy art. I can't. Mixing is an art too. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys know that shit. It's like playing an instrument. It's not easy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mixing, you can do whatever you want. Mastering, you're more you're more attached to
More
certain
technical.
parameters that you cannot get around because you're gonna fuck up the project. You know.
well, you look good for no because I got projects I might need to come to you to master.
Oh yeah, send me an email, man.
Yeah, he did.
I'm
We
here.
got someone to mix already. We just need someone to master. You know what I mean? And,
Send it to me. I can make it shine.
Yeah,
Right.
he's
that's good to hear.
mastering is not my bag. I just play drums and I play my drums and write songs.
Yeah, every time I get to the master, it's like I need you to turn all the drums down. I need to turn that everything is clipping because everything is clipping. So,
So Pablo, are you
yeah.
on any social medias that you like to share?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and Facebook and all those. I am, yeah.
Okay.
I think
If you go to my Instagram, his Instagram handle's in my bio.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if you
yeah,
go
yeah.
to the J Zone Instagram, J Zone
Yeah,
IG, the
I
Pablo
am
Martin
there,
music is in my bio. So you can go to my bio and find his Instagram in there.
I believe
Yeah.
Pablo, I'm your friend on Facebook because when Jay told me about you before, I added you as a friend. Chris McManus, KRIS McManus. That's
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. I remember you.
yeah.
Of course.
Jay told me, okay, let me add him as a friend. So boom, and so like,
Yeah, I'm the one posting like crazy artsy pictures and all that shit.
all right.
Yeah.
Once again, I appreciate you guys and hopefully get you guys again in the future. This is Jay's second time with the Behind the Boards. You know what I mean? Jay's very highly underestimated as a producer, and the way I feel too at the same time and shit. As a producer making hip hop beats. But I guess he retired.
Jay Zone got break beats.
There you go. Jay Zone is actually playing the beats now. He's not making the beats. He's playing the beats. He's like, you know what I mean?
No, we make the beats now. We don't have to sample. We don't have to.
They sample me now. So
Yeah.
I just cleared my
As Tracklib came
Wait, who's sampling you?
I can't put the cat out the bag, but it's somebody who's you'll know in January when it comes out.
Cool.
It's going to be a pretty cool deal, man. And they cleared it with me, so I actually cleared my first sample
from the records, from the breakbeat records. So you have to make
they
it.
sampled my breakbeat record.
Oh,
and,
okay, cool.
I cleared it.
You know what's crazy? I heard back in the days you don't have to get drum samples cleared. That's what I heard like a long time ago. That's not true.
If they hear it, I mean, the question is not whether it's right or wrong, you get away with it. The question is, do you have the money to pay a lawyer to get them off your ass?
Yeah.
And if it's cheaper to give them money to go away, then you're still going to spend money. Will it hold up in court? That's another story. But usually most sample cases, it rarely goes to like actually the end. It's usually like, the legal fees are too much to handle. So it's like, okay, how much do you want me to give you to get out of my hair? So,
So it makes no difference how many seconds of another person's record you're using.
If they hear it and there's a case and they have the money to hire a lawyer to come after you and you don't have the money to fight it,
right?
Then you pay them because you're going to have to pay a lawyer to protect you. So it's like, if you don't have that money, then it's like, yo, let's settle, put the lawyers, call the dogs off and settle, and whatever it is, you settle, and then mission accomplished. They got paid, and it's over.
Oh, wait, I got one more question for you, Jay, before we go. You just did something with Lord Finesse?
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it here. I got it here. It's Motown State of Mind, Lord Finesse. This is Motown. Lord Finesse actually got access to all the original reels from a bunch of Motown joints. Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye, El DeBarge, Switch, Eddie Kendricks, and the one I did was Sister's Love. And that was a song from the movie The Mat, when they're doing the Players Ball.
Yeah.
So Lord Finesse always wanted to remix that, so he got that, and then I went in and I redid the drums. That's me playing drums on that. So he gave me a break and everything, and we recut the drums, and it was surreal, man. I grew up quoting Funky Technician every day in school.
When's he gonna start rapping again? I want to hear him rap. Yeah.
I mean, like, we bonded over that because it's always like, yo, people want us to do X, Y, Z, but we want to do X, Y, Z. Like, I'm a drummer, I don't rap. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to do this kind of stuff, and people want him to rap. He's more of an MC than I was. Like, he's more likely to rap again, but he's just a music dude. Like, Finesse can DJ his ass off. He can produce, rhyme, and then on top of that, it's not just like, yo, there's some shit on that record,
Really
take it, make a beat.
He could really rhyme. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he made a better living off of producing and DJing.
Producing and DJ, but he also knows music. Like he'll when we were doing this shit, he was like, yo, when the chord change comes, I want you to do this. Like, he might not know that that's a flam, or that's a paradiddle, or that's a buzz roll, or that's a rim shot, but he'll just say he knows, he's musically literate enough to be like,
Say that.
Very detailed direction. So when I recorded the drums for this, he was sitting right here in my basement, like showing me what he wanted. And I'm like, yo, this same basement, I bought Funky Technician 30 years ago and put the tape in here and played it, and my jaw was on the floor. And then 30 years later, he's here, like in my crib, like, yo, man, when you play the snare, when you do the roll, do this. And I was like, damn, like, this is freaking surreal to have Lord Finesse in my house, showing me, how to.
You've known him for a long time personally, right?
I've known him for about 5 years, but known, I mean, just by face, like seeing him out and about. But I didn't really know him until DJ Louie Lou was cutting up doubles of Backyard Breaks, which was one of my break records. And Lord Finesse ran up to the tables and he was like, yo, what was that record you were cutting with the Brunswick label? Because I did a mock-up of the Brunswick records, fake mock-up of the label, and he saw it and he thought it was a break on Brunswick that nobody had. So Louis was like, J-Zone. Finesse was like, oh, I know who he is. He rap dude. And no. Who was that record you were playing? He's like, no, that is J-Zone. He didn't know that I was a drummer. And he was like, what? And then he got my number, he got my info from Marco Polo. Mm-hmm. And then DJ Boogie Blind was over there. And then he had Blind. He said, yo, call him up. I've been trying to find him. And they both called me. And Blind had copies, of the record. And he was like bugging out over the break record. He was like, yo, I got something I want to work with you on. Come through. So I went up there. He's playing me records. He's playing me shit. He's showing me shit. Just chilling. It was surreal. Then he was like, yo, I'm going to use you on something. Just give me a little time. And then like 8 months later, he pops up. He's like, yo, we got the green light from Motown to get in the vaults and remix these classics. He's like, I want you to play drums on one of these cuts. And that was unreal, man. That was some next level shit.
Salute to you, man. Salute for real.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Salute to the Du-Rites, period, man. Salute to you, bro.
Yeah, man.
For real. Like I said, we appreciate this. And I know we could keep going, but we appreciate this. And
it's a Tuesday. We waiting for election results.
Yeah, I want to see what's going on now.
Right now, we know who the president is at this moment. We don't know what's gonna.
No, we don't know nothing.
I mean, at this moment, Trump is still the president, right? So we're like, yo.
I haven't. Next thing I'm gonna do after I hang up over here, I'm gonna go and see what's going on over there.
Pretty close. It's pretty close.
Another episode. Let's get it in. Hold up. You guys can stay. I'm just going to stop recording.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.